Let me take a break. Alright guys, welcome to another amazing episode of the Big Bad Podcast. I'm your host, Big Bro Dre. Thank you guys for watching the other podcast I put out last week. All 1,200 of you watched this podcast, man. And I appreciate you guys' support because for my channel, that is a big deal. Right now, we are currently sitting at about 37 and some change, 3,700 subscribers, supporters. And many of you I know personally. I've met you guys in passing through the hallways, highways, byways, pathways, what have you, right? I met you guys, so I appreciate you guys' support. And thank you for watching this one if you're watching this one, all right? I got a bunch of topics to get into. I read you guys' emails. I read you guys' comments. I read some of your Instagram DMs that you guys sent me about last week's podcast and a few other videos that I put out into the world. And your topics today, my topics today are going to depict those actual comments. So one of the comments was saying that I needed to take my camera out of cinema mode and use just a regular camera focus for the camera, right? So I did that. So now my background looks a bit bigger. That wall looks like it's closer than it is. That wall is actually probably like, I don't know, like 20 feet away or some shit like that, right? And I tried to go 30 seconds without cursing because YouTube won't monetize your videos. As you guys can also see, I don't have a co-host yet, but the show must go on. As soon as I get one, you guys will be the first to know. Still looking for a co-host in the Colorado area who wants to sit in, and we could do it digitally, or you could come in and we could shoot whatever. However we do, we gonna figure it out, all right? Got something to drink too for this podcast too, man, because I was thirsty last time. And every time I talk, it's like people don't know when you sit in front of this camera and you talk for 10, 20, 30 minutes, right? Your mouth gets dry and then you can't like open your mouth.
Pause.
Especially if you're holding down the whole of the podcast. So you're holding down, your voice is the only voice that people hear on the podcast. It sucks because you don't have any time to transition or go back and forth with somebody else. So it's just you talking to a camera with nothing to drink. So you're just thirsty. All right. But hey, let's go ahead and dive into these topics. I'm going to edit this video later. I probably ain't going to cut it off for the whole of this video. I'm just going to go straight through, get into the topics, and then I'll do the editing on this thing a little bit later, man. So let's hop into military topics first, because that was one of the comments. I should do more military topics. Because most of my watchers are military personnel. There's a small number of you who are not in the military or haven't served a long time ago or something like that, right? So I'm gonna add more military topics to my podcast in the future. All right. So the first one is gonna talk about money. The 5.2 raise, we all know about that. We heard we were getting that, but there's also a 30% pay hike increase in the Senate coming up for our enlisted members.
All new at 6, money tied to a defense appropriations bill could give military troops across the country their biggest pay raises in decades.
CBS 17's Justin Moore tells us what this means for troops here in North Carolina.
Some Army troops at Fort Liberty are struggling to keep food on the table while defending our freedom. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, 22,000 active duty service members across the nation qualify for food stamps.
The military has to remain competitive with other employers, and I think this goes a long way in doing that.
Money connected to a defense appropriation bill could give U.S. military troops a serious financial boost. This move would guarantee that even the lowest ranking service members would earn at least $31,000 annually in base pay. This would be in addition to compensation in the form of housing stipends, health care, and food stipends. The increase could also have an impact on military recruitment. Lawmakers have until October to decide on the bill, which would also prohibit the use of funds to perform medical procedures that attempt to change a person's biological gender. This bill is separate from the 5.2% pay raise that troops are expected to receive starting next year. Justin Moore, CBS 17 News.
I am not an enlisted member, but I remember coming in the United States Army and being an enlisted guy and struggling those first few years because I was broke, man. I didn't have a whole lot of money. So the struggle is real when you enlisted. Boom. All right, junior enlisted troops could see their pay jump for more than 30% next year under proposal unveiled Wednesday by the House Republicans. A House's panel's proposal for annual Pentagon spending will give E6s and below significant increases in their base pay, and lawmakers want to set aside $800 million to rework the military's pay scale for those service members. On top of the rewritten scale, all service members are going to get that 5.2 pay raise. So I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go ahead and clap for that because I agree with this pay increase for enlisted members. I've always thought it was a huge disparity how much enlisted people get paid as opposed to officers, as opposed to warrant officers. I don't think they should get paid the same because you got levels, but I do think there should be some type of bridge gap in between the pay entitlements just because there are a lot of responsibilities that enlisted people have to do that the officer corps don't even know anything about. So it's just about, I mean, honestly, some of those disparities are so vast, and I will have to do a whole lot of more research to figure out exactly how vast they are. But at the end of the day, I think sometimes we're not keeping the amount of people we're supposed to be keeping because of the pay. People got to make money. People say money doesn't matter, but when you don't have it, that shit really matters. Which brings me to my next military topic, which is the current recruiting crisis that the military is going through. Right now, the entirety of our own forces is going through a recruiting crisis with the Army leading the charge, expecting to fall vastly short of the 65,000 personnel recruiting effort of 2023. They're going to fall short of it. You know who's not going to fall short? The United States Marines. Oh. And the reason they ain't going to fall short is because they got a whole different marketing strategy than the rest of the branches do. The Army, Air Force, even the Army, Navy, Air Force, and the Coast Guard, and even the Space Force to a minimum, are giving out bonuses to get people to join and enlist and stay military, right? The Marines are not doing that shit. Like, there's this general, I'm going to put his picture up here somewhere. General Eric Smith, when asked if he thinks that the Marines should give bonuses to people joining the Marines right now to come in, he said the bonus of being a Marine, the bonus, how did he put that shit? I'm going to look it up. While I'm looking at it, I might just play the video right here in the background.
Your bonus is that you get to call yourself a Marine. That's your bonus. There's no dollar amount that goes with that. Let's do talent management first, then training. We're going to retain, not recruit, our way out of the problem.
He said the bonus is being able to be called a Marine. Yeah. How hard is that? Like, listen, I like that. So, yeah, right now, those guys are doing good and they're going to meet their recruiting requirements. So that begs the question of, is money the answer to all of the military's recruiting efforts? I don't know. I think we got to figure out a way to offer different stuff other than just money. All right, my third military topic is going to be about, I want to talk about this Ukraine thing, but I think I need to do more research on this. Right now, if y'all not aware, man, the military the United States government is about to send $400 million in military assets to Ukraine. After already sending $41 billion since 2022. Yes, that's billion with the B. The United States government, there are people starving in the United States of America, but we are sending millions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. I don't have the science or the knowledge to elaborate on what I'm saying. I read an article today, and that's what it said. So I'm going to let you guys be the judge now here in the comments about how y'all feel about that shit. I don't know how to feel because I ain't done enough research on it. All right. So my next topic, and I need to figure out a way to what do you call it? How they do in podcasts? Segue. I got to figure out a way to do better segues because my segues are trash. But the big thing I saw today was the whole Cardi B throwing the mic thing. So I'm gonna play the video right now.
We are now waiting to see if Cardi B will face any charges after throwing a microphone at a fan over the weekend who had thrown water on the rapper. It happened during a concert in Las Vegas on Saturday. The concert goer later filed a police report alleging battery. During the same performance, Cardi B had actually asked fans to splash her with water because of the heat.
See how that plays out.
So if you see in the video where she threw the mic, right, it looks like somebody threw water on her. What they didn't show in the video was that she asked for people to cool her down with water while she was twerking, but she didn't want them to hit her in the face with the water. Now, ain't none of us Steph Curry, so I don't know how that person could have figured out how to throw the water on stage without getting a drop on her face. That's number one. Number two is, as much as she wanted to throw that damn water bottle, I think knowing how much she got to lose, she probably should have. Through that mic, knowing how much she got to lose, she probably should have done that shit. Now, I'm not going to tell Cardi B to shut the F up. I ain't going to do that because I feel like anybody in that situation probably would have done the same thing. I think her security should have done a better job at trying to prevent that. I think the security should have been the first person to jump on it, and then Cardi wouldn't have had to throw that mic. With that said, don't throw things at celebrities. Don't throw things at people because the situation could have ended up way worse for that concert goer and way worse for Cardi B if she would have hit that girl and it would have ended up a little worse than that. Hold on, let me take a break. Y'all comment down in the comments too on what's the best day of the week to come out with these podcasts. So the podcast that I usually watch or listen to right now, I'm real into the Raw Room. It's the Darren Bates and I forgot the other guy's name. JC, I think is his name, and a guy named Sweets. They do a weekly podcast about sports from the perspective of NFL football players, because two of them played. I don't think Sweets played, but the guy JC and Darren, they both played in the NFL for a number of years. And they got a pretty good podcast. I actually like it. It's real good. Darren got like this real raspy voice, kind of draws you in, and when he laughs, it's funnier than what they was laughing at. I also, of course, like the Joe Budden podcast. They come out on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I think Darren has a sporadic, I don't know what day they come out, but I know the Joe Budden podcast comes out on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I listen to his counter podcasters, Rory and Maul, and they don't have a schedule for their days either. I want to say they come out on Thursdays, but sometimes they come out on Thursdays, sometimes they come out on Fridays. I don't keep up with it. But in the comments, let me know the best time that you guys like to watch YouTube so I can try to come out on those days so we can get more viewership and build this thing up. Speaking of viewership, since the first episode of the podcast dropped, we have received over 100 new subscribers. I don't know if you guys are spreading the word or y'all putting it out. YouTube is showing me some love in the algorithm. I don't know what, but I received 100 new subscribers, and that's the most I probably received in the last 3 months. So I appreciate that. Appreciate the up. We on the up, man. We all we got. Secret Society. But next topic, guys. So I forgot about this military topic, but I got to talk about it. So this guy, his name is Charles Adams, right? And you don't know who Charles Adams is. I didn't know who he was until this morning when it came across my Apple News feed.
A St. Louis man admitted to stealing over $100,000 in Veterans Administration disability benefits through fraudulent medical claims. 50-year-old Charles Adams underwent multiple medical evaluations after he applied for increased disability benefits for service-connected degenerative disc disease with degenerative arthritis. In April of 2017, Adams reported difficulty getting out of bed and an inability to stand on occasions, with a medical professional noting his slow walking speed and noticeable limp. Adams also showed severe limitations in his range of motion, rotation, and other use of his back. Soon after the examination, Adams performed various strenuous exercises with high levels of resilience, including deep squats, leg presses with over 800 pounds, and rope pull-downs, a vast difference compared to his previous examination. Now videos on Instagram account @TLFTrainer shows Adams lifting heavy weights and squatting as early as late 2017, contradicting Adams' claims of limited mobility. In February 2018, Adams filed for unemployment benefits. Included in his application was a statement from the doctor based on the 2017 medical examination. Adams also applied for Social Security disability in August of 2019 after a January 2017 application was denied. In his second application, Adams stated his medical conditions affected his motor abilities. However, Adams never reported that he went to Club Fitness for workouts, checking in a day before a July 7, 2020 hearing for his second disability application. Investigators watched as Adams walked normally and carried bags of trash before his examination. However, once Adams arrived, he was walking at a slower pace and with a cane. Adams is scheduled to be sentenced on October 25th with charges carrying a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, or both. He will also be ordered to repay the $106,245.
Well, this gentleman, Charles Adams, is a United States military veteran. I think he was in the Navy. And he is receiving Veterans Administration's disability benefits. So pretty much his VA benefits, right? The District Court of Missouri is saying that this gentleman stole $106,245 from the VA system. And you want to know how he did it? I'll tell you how he did it. This is what this guy did. So he claimed disability for arthritis and degenerative diseases in his legs, right? Well, this dumbass in late 2017, in March 18, posted videos of himself deadlifting over 800 pounds, squatting over 800 pounds. And the video, and somebody caught him on video, he put it on Instagram, and that him lifting that much weight directly contradicts his claims that he has limited abilities to lift, squat, bend, stand, and walk. So apparently this guy, he admitted to it, and he's going to be sentenced in October 25th of this year. Says Mr. Adams is facing a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison, $250,000 fine, or both, man. Damn! So listen, if you guys are on VA disability or you receiving the VA disability, I'm not saying don't get what the government owes you, but don't try to finesse it. And if you do try to finesse it, don't be in the gym shooting Instagram videos where you dipping and bench pressing 800 pounds of weight, because nobody with a disability in their knees can do that shit. That is crazy to me. I cannot believe this gentleman did that. That's the dumbest shit I've seen today. But I had to mention that because it was on my list and I forgot to do it. But into this this next one is oh man, PeeWee Herman died today. So PeeWee Herman, and for all my youngsters that are watching this video that may not know who PeeWee Herman is, right? PeeWee Herman used to have this TV show called Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, it was like this weird, quirky shit. It's kind of like Mr. Rogers on steroids back in the day. So if y'all know who Mr. Rogers is, then you kind of know what Pee-wee. I guess for the newer kids, it'll be like Blue's Clue without Blue, maybe. Well, PeeWee Herman's was a character in the late 80s, early 90s, and a lot of kids watched him. And he actually apparently was funny. I never liked none of his shit. I didn't think he was funny. I thought he was kind of goofy. But a lot of people loved it. So the shitty part about PeeWee Herman's legacy is that in 2004, he pleaded guilty to a possession of obscene materials with intent to distribute in a court hearing. So he had 170 images of minors engaged in sexual conduct on his laptop, and the government found it. So PeeWee Herman was pretty much allegedly a pedophile, and that tarnished his record. That tarnished his damn reputation for the rest of his life. So every time anybody bring up PeeWee Herman, they always gonna bring that up. But yeah, R.I.P. PeeWee Herman, man. I never liked the guy, but I mean he's dead now, so yeah. Next topic I got on here is about a general. Oh my God, this one hit my news feed too, guys. This probably, I might make this one my damn thumbnail. Jason Aldean. So Jason Aldean has this song out right now. And if you don't know who Jason Aldean is, I'm not mad at you because I just found out who he was a couple hours ago, a couple days ago, right? Jason Aldean is a country singer, country music singer. Apparently, he's very, 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 famous, right? The song that that I found out about Jason Aldean is the "Try That in a Small Town" song. And so I don't like country music, not that much. It's probably like 2 or 3 country music songs that I like. I think one of them is like "All My Exes Live in Texas" by Randy Travis. That shit fire. I love that song. It's another song. I cannot remember the name of this song, man, but it shit kind of lit. When I thought Lil Nas X song was country, I love that song. Old Town Road, that shit was a slap. But Jason Aldean has a song called "Try It in a Small Town," and in the song, he talks about violence and robbings, killing, stuff that would happen in a major city. And he's pretty much saying, you try that in a small town, we're going to take care of you, pretty much. Well, the controversy behind it is that in the video that he showed images of violent police protesters promoting gun violence and taking aim at the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, I'm going to say this because I literally had to grip my teeth to watch this video. Not because of the content of it, because I just do not like country music. It's not my shit. But once I watched the video in its full detail, right, I could see how somebody could come up with that thought, especially somebody living in the South. I could see how, and just me being a worldwide traveler, especially traveling around the United States, I could see how people down there would see that as racist. But I didn't think it was meant to be like that. And all right, hear me out. So in the song, he's like playing guitar in front of the courthouse, and I think somebody got hung out there in like 1920 or something. Somebody black got hung out there. Well, and the Black Lives Matter had a protest out there for something else, right? In the song, when I listen to the song, the lyrics kind of say, hey, don't try this in a small town because big cities, everybody stick together in small towns. And most of the lyrics I don't think they're directed towards black people. I think because black people are sometimes synonymous with crime, that it seems like those lyrics are going to be directed towards a specific set of people, black people. But coming from somebody black who's grown up in different circumstances, who's grown up in different neighborhoods, I grew up in places where I seen racism blatantly. I grew up in places, I've been around systematic racism. So I know what racism looks like. And I don't know if this gentleman was particularly attempting to be racist, but I could see how it could go like that. Like one of the comments I saw in the newsletter that I was watching was saying that some of his lyrics denoted actions of sundown towns. If you don't know what a sundown town is a place primarily in the South. If you go through there and you're not white, you better be out of there before the sun goes down, because pretty much the Klan or racist organizations run that town. So they'll get you out if you don't want to be, you're not supposed to be there. So I can say that I don't think his song was meant to be geared towards that, because I lived in a small town. When I recruited in Dublin, Georgia, small towns do kind of have this stick together mentality. Like a lot of them, everybody knows everybody. So people just generally are going to stick together and try to make life better for each other by sticking together. And they don't want to let nobody come from the outside. Even if they got internal beefs, nobody's going to come from the outside and try to pretty much mess with that town or mess with somebody in that town. So I get, I won't say people are reaching, because I could see how somebody could take it as racist just because, number one, because it's country. A lot of country music just sounds racist. I'm going to be honest. I hate to say it. So a lot of it just does. I don't know if it's the guitar or what it is. And I'm the last person to be like, oh, this is racist. I'm not that person. But some of those undertones, some of the stuff they say, black people just can't identify with that shit. I'm gonna just be honest. Just like some kid from the suburbs can't identify with Pooh Shiesty or Young Jeezy. Like, you can't, I mean, I get it. So it's just like, but yeah, I heard the song, man. I had to grit my teeth, because I don't like country music, but I had to grit my teeth and listen to it. And other than it just being a shit song because it's country music, I don't think the song was racist. So I'm not gonna say this guy songs is racist. But shout out to Jason Aldean. Hopefully they let him take the foot off his neck and let the man keep making music, because I don't think that song was racist. Maybe he got some other songs. If y'all got some songs from Jason Aldean that y'all think racist, put them in the comments so I can go look them up, because I want to know if it's racist. I want to know if he just is racist, but I don't think he is. My last topic, right, is this one is funny because I just thought about this one the other day, and somebody asked me about it, and I thought about it, and yeah, funny story. So my daughter wanted to go see the Barbie movie, so we went to go see Barbie movie, and when you get in the movie, there are a lot of people going to see this movie, and we went in the middle of the day on like when I was on leave, like a Tuesday or something like that, whatever that was, right? So we went to the movies. Movie was cool. We got in there. As you watch the movie, oh, excuse me, God, that damn Coca-Cola. When you watch the movie, right, it seems that the concept of the movie is women empowerment, right? And I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who wrote this movie or why. And listen, I'm not against. Let me see how I can put this without sounding crazy. It was a good movie, and if you are a woman or a little girl, you should definitely go see this movie. It also made me kind of see how maybe women feel in the world that we live in, because the way they was treating Ken was messed up, man. So, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, skip to like 5 minutes up, and then, or it's almost to the end, and then, yeah. But yeah, so Barbie lives in this city. It's called Barbie Land or some shit like that, right? And this land is perfect. Like, women run everything. Women is the Supreme Court. The woman is the president. Matter of fact, I think the president was Issa Rae. Is the president. Issa Rae from Scandal, or what's the name of that damn show? Insecure. Right? So all of the stuff in the city is ran by women, right? And which is cool, whatever, right? Well, the guys like Ken, all the dudes, most of them their name is Ken. They kind of get treated like pretty much like they supposed to worship and follow the Barbies. So I think they were trying to make a comparison to how women are treated in society, where women get paid less and women get treated differently because they are women. So what happens is Barbie start malfunctioning or some shit because something going on in the real world with the chick from Ugly Betty. I can't remember her name. I think it's America Ferrera. She having some issues with her daughter, so they playing with the doll. So this is affecting the real Barbie and Barbie Land. So Barbie got to go to the real world to fix the Barbie Land issue, right? So when she go to the real world, it's backwards. It's flipped. Men are treated different. Men are the primary, kind of how the real world is, but they kind of put some sauce on it though. Like some of that shit is like, come on, man. But yeah, so that's how it was, right? So what it did was it empowered Ken. Ken goes back to Barbie Land and changed all that shit to Ken Land, a Ken Dojo Playhouse or some shit like that, right? So Barbie get back from and see Ken and what happened. And at the end of the day, they changed it back. But pretty much, I think it's to show men how women are being treated in America. And I've seen a lot of guys in there with their daughters and their girlfriends and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I saw it, because if that's how women are treated, then we probably do need to treat women a little bit better than we do, because it was kind of messed up, man. Ken was sad, man. Ken was so happy when he got to the real world. He walked in the office building, and he's looking for a job. He ain't have no degrees, and the dude damn near gave him the job without having no degrees and none of that shit, right? So, yeah, it's a decent movie. I don't know if I will watch it again, because it's a little girly for me. It ain't my shit. But if you're a woman out there, man, go watch the movie. It's decent. If you're a man, go check it out too. But don't go in there by yourself. It ain't no shit you gonna watch by yourself. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, Aldean, I'm gonna try to go get out and go see that. Listen to a couple albums too when I was before I started this show. The one I like, Travis Scott got an album called Euphoria. It's pretty decent. I can't work out because right now I got a boot on my foot. Was messing around, working out or whatever, and twist my damn ankle. So I'm walking around with the Mega Man boot on my foot right now, so I can't work out. But I did catch a couple snippets of it. It's hard. If you like that really well produced music, then this album is for you. Lyrically, that shit was suspect. Drake had a couple bars on there that was dope. And the thing I like about Travis Scott is he don't put his features on his playlist. So you don't know who the hell gonna be on the song until you actually play the song. All right, so I think that's all, man. This is another very short episode. Hopefully, once I get this podcast thing down, my episodes will be a little bit longer. But I come from where I was shooting videos and not really shooting a podcast setting of videos. I kind of was just shooting more of like a quick 5 to 10 minute video type. But this is a little bit more fun. Maybe I'll go live or something and try to figure out if that's a better approach than shooting, editing, and then posting. All right, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of the Big Bad Podcast. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.